Alright, sorry this video is running a little late guys, I've been super busy with important real life stuff, but that's over now, so let's talk Crash. So, we've finally got our hands on Crash Team Rumble via the exclusive online beta. I won't lie, I have not been excited about this game, like at all. I've been fortunate enough to receive all the silly marketing things like the Pinata and some of the other Activision gifts the past couple of years, but seeing how this game has been marketed since its official announcement back in December, I have not been impressed. It's been very vague and tiptoeing around basic information. We've seen the same 5 things over and over, and we're only 2 months away from this game releasing now. Which is honestly such a shame because now that I've finally played the damn thing firsthand, I absolutely love it! And now I'm worried about its ability to succeed. Now, full disclaimer quickly, you guys know that I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm not shy to tell you how much I love something or some of my frustrations with it, especially when it comes to Crash Bandicoot, which is one of my most favourite franchises of all time. In fact, I've often been called overly critical, but that's only because I just want the absolute best for this series that I love so much. So this beta was closed access to those people who pre-ordered, which my partner and I did. I was then fortunate enough to be given a code myself by Activision to try the game out, along with a whole bunch of other codes which I gave away over on Twitter to loads of awesome people. Thanks so much to everyone for supporting the channel, and I hope you all had as much fun with this game as I did. So I'm here today with the ultimate goal to dispel any confusion about what this game actually is for those who are on the fence, and tell you why you should definitely give this game a chance. But having said that, I'm also going to mention some of my main critiques that I have and things that I'd like to see fixed before the game launches in June. So let's get into it. This is a multiplayer game, 4 versus 4. They've been too scared to put a genre label on it, which has soured and scared off a lot of people in my opinion. Look, I'm just going to call it an arena, capture the flag type game, with a bit of platforming thrown in. You've got your main goal of filling up your Wumpa meter, either by smashing crates around the map or by beating the ever-loving Christ out of enemy players, with a whole bunch of character-specific and stage power-ups and hazards to really mix things up. That's the game. I don't know why they've been so obscure about explaining what it is. I will say that watching gameplay of this does not do it justice. I was honestly sitting by waiting for this game to flop so that we could all move on with our lives, hopefully onto a more mainline installment for the franchise. I simply had no faith in this concept, but having played it with my friends online, this is honestly such a blast. It's a quick turn your brain off chaotic mess, but thanks to the different character abilities and different playstyles you can incorporate, even just within the 5 different options within the beta, this has really proven the concept for me. Toys for Bob have put a lot of love into making sure that this game is primarily one thing, and that's fun. Now, it's early days yet, but based on the matches I've played, there is so much that could be done with this, including different characters from all over the franchise and giving them unique abilities. The potential for fun, inventive stages and power-ups is honestly limitless with this franchise. Coming off of Nitro Fueled and even Crash on the Run, I'd love to see Twinsanity and the Titans games finally get some representation they deserve, along with all of the other beloved classics of course, because really, the heart of this game is just going to be going out there, playing as your favourite characters, hearing all those familiar and comforting tunes while you pummel each other into the ground. It's a lot of fun, offering different strategies and still being easy for anyone to pick up and play, no matter their skill level. Now, the beta wasn't perfect, we had a few connection issues here and there. Trying the game on both PS4 and PS5, you can be loaded into a match within like 15 seconds on average, and matches can last anywhere between 1 or 2 minutes, all the way up to like 7 minutes, I think was our longest match. It's very jump in, jump out, which is what I like about multiplayer games these days. It's fun decimating a team in no time at all, but it's even more fun fighting it out neck and neck over every inch of the map to see who can get the biggest power-ups first and push their goal over the finish line. I have nothing but positive to say for the actual gameplay here. The UI needs a little bit of work. Based on the beta, it can be a little bit confusing getting into a new lobby with your party and such, but overall, I love this game, which is what worries me. You know, up until I finally played this game for myself, I was 100% convinced that this was going to be a complete disaster and a massive failure for the franchise. Mostly because of the fact that Activision's marketing has been completely ballsed up. I mean, seriously, if you've looked online, people didn't know what to make of this game. And, you know, up until I played it, I didn't know either. So now that I have played it and thoroughly enjoyed it, that makes me even more pissed off because I want this game to succeed. It's so much fun with friends and I don't want to see this be short-lived. So, in my opinion, Activision needs to really step up their game when it comes to making Crash Team Rumble the best it can possibly be and selling that concept to potential players. Firstly, at this stage, CT Rumble is an online-only multiplayer game. Now, that's already going to shrink the player base that Crash is known for, so it really needs some kind of single-player challenge mode or something. Maybe with a super light story to be included. I don't know, you know, with this you could have a leaderboard and records to compare with your friends, like we saw in Crash Team Racing, and even in the N. Sane trilogy with Relics. I don't really know how they could go about doing this, but I feel like it needs some sort of single-player element to really help it bring in as many people as possible. And secondly, for these types of online games with battle passes, why the fuck didn't they make this free to play? That's absolutely beyond me. The fact that we have to pay for a game is again going to shrink the player base down, on top of also needing to pay for a premium battle pass to unlock everything in the game. You know, there's a reason why Fortnite, Apex, Fall Guys all had such great success. It's because they were free to play and you only had to pay money if you felt like it. And now, guess what? Fortnite is the most profitable game in the world despite being completely free. But I mean, this is Activision we're talking about, so if they do want to release the game for an upfront cost, then this beta should have absolutely been made free to play for everyone up until the release of the game, so that those who are on the fence could actually try it for themselves and see if they like it. And if they enjoyed it even a fraction of what I did, then they might be willing to pay for it at launch. My biggest fear now is that this business model is going to be the nail in the coffin for Rumble. Hell, make the online free at launch and charge us for some kind of single player campaign and the battle pass. But just let people play it. The more players you get in, then the longer it will survive, the more support it can receive, and ultimately, it would have the chance to make even more money being free to play than it would right now, from where I'm sitting anyway, as a dedicated fan and as one of the louder voices within the community. I really think that, at the end of the day, this should be free to play, or the online aspect should be free, with some kind of paid add-ons for those who are interested. Finally, if we can overcome the hoops with this game, if it's able to maintain an active player base from launch through the rest of this year and beyond, then it needs to be treated with the respect that Nitro Fueled was afforded. I enjoyed my time with that game, but there was a lot that also got in the way of my enjoyment. Unreliable servers being a big one, and for one of the most beloved kart racer comebacks of all time, support ran out within like 9 months post-launch, so for an entirely new concept that is still trying to sell itself to its core demographic, I'm really fearful for how long this game is going to be supported. You know, Crash on the Run is another example from this franchise that just didn't get the support that it should have done. So if Rumble is going to succeed, then it needs to be looked after. It needs to hook people in, bring them back, and keep them coming back. A battle pass is one thing, but man, look, playing Fortnite and Apex these last few years, we're sick of the battle pass format, okay? Silly cosmetics simply aren't going to be enough for me anymore. Now, what would keep me coming back is a larger selection of game modes to introduce a lot more variation to the formula. Here are a few that you can steal from me, Toys for Bob. Please, by any means, add these into the game. First up, I reckon a capture the flag type mode would be a lot of fun. You know, players fighting over something like a crystal and having to hold onto it for either the longest time, or be the player holding onto it once the timer runs out. You could call it Crystal Crazy. Another mode they could do would be something along the lines of Rocket League, where you have to push a big object like a giant Wumpa fruit over the opponent's line or into their goal, while using all of the different stage hazards and such to assist them. You could call it Crash Ball, I don't know. And look, while we're making reference to Bash here, finally, they should just make a regular team deathmatch or free-for-all mode where people can just stomp each other out for the most points and call it something like Crash Bash, for God's sake, because I think we can all agree that that was one of the most fun modes to come out of that game. There you go. I've given you 3 freebies, none of them original by any means, but all of them to be expected from a game of this nature at launch, in my opinion anyway. Look, I feel like if Rumble can be given the correct features and support, along with frequent updates as Nitro Fuel did with new characters and maps, items, and all that other good shit, this game could be a great success for the franchise. I'm definitely going to be supporting it, and I hope that after hearing me talk about it, you know me, the grizzly asshole who doesn't like anything, I hope that I've been able to convert some of you into wanting to play more of this in June, and I really want to support this game and see it thrive into a vibrant online community of players. And look, I don't expect them to do it, but if they were to make this more accessible to those not already invested in this series like we all are, by making it free to play, or at the very least, free to demo, then this has the potential to expand Crash's overall appeal for upcoming future releases. Quickly, just again, I want to thank Activision for giving me access to the beta, as well as for all of the codes which I was able to give away to people. If you played the beta yourself, then please, I'm really interested to know what you thought of it, as well as what you'd like to see from Crash Team Rumble in the future. Let me know with a comment down below, followed with liking, subscribing, and sharing this video on social media. I'm Square Eyed Jack, and I hope you have a great fucking day. Thanks for watching.